1580, 103.3 WPKY. Good morning. It's 8:11:36. It's climbing. It's supposed to get up to 57 today. It's going to be cloudy, but, you know, it's going to get a little warmer, so it's on its way. The sun's out. Oh, the sun is out. I just realized the sun is out. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be cloudy today. We're joined this morning by our guest from the Caldwell County Extension Office, Joni Phelps. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning. I'm Rhonda, though.
Oh, you're Rhonda. You are Rhonda. I'm so sorry. Joni was here last week. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm learning the
still
faces.
Learning.
I am. I am so terrible with
That's
names.
okay.
I apologize. And I won't ask you how you're doing this morning because you've already said you're a little under the weather.
Yes, I am. I'm hoping to go to the doctor and get some meds as soon as I leave here. But
yes, I'm so sorry to hear
that's
that.
Okay.
I hope you get better soon.
Well, I will. I know I will. It's been a busy year. We're kind of winding things down. Things kind of slow down for just a few weeks. We are closed from Christmas Eve until New Year's Day.
Wow.
So that does give us a little bit of reprieve, but things will get started right back up again next year. As far as some things that have been going on, we had our trash sculpture contest at the end of November, and we have a school, a county, and a regional contest, and this is sponsored by our Solid Waste Advisory Council, which is the fiscal courts from Trigline, Livingston, Crittenden, and Caldwell counties. And we always have quite a bit of participants. We had about 75 that participated in the school contest. And the top 3 from the school contest get to go to the county contest. And the county contest is held at my office. There actually is a contest in each school also. So the primary kids compete against primary kids, elementary kids compete against elementary, middle, and high school, and so forth. So we did have some that were some pretty big winners, and our big winners, and I'll just kind of mention some names for our big winners, were Dalton Hicks. He was actually the school winner for the high school as well as the county in the high school division, and he was also best of show. So he didn't go to the regional contest, but he did. Will receive a check for $110 for his trash sculpture, and he did an awesome job. Also, Miss Dunbar, her class got the teacher award. The teacher in the whole school system that has the most participation, their classroom receives $50 for them to use however they choose, so she receives that $50. Timmy Martin, who's also in the elementary division, he was the second place school contest winner. Second place also county contest winner. I'm confused.
It's okay. I get that way too sometimes.
And he was actually first place at the regional contest. So he's going to be receiving a check for $190. And again, this is sponsored by the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, and again, that's from the fiscal courts in each county. But anyway, we're excited again to bring this along. November 15th is National Recycles Day, and we try to kind of promote this during this time of year, as well as try to get people to start recycling, start thinking about the environment a little bit more. And anyway, that's in November. That's what my 4-H lesson was on. So,
did you actually see the sculptures? Some of the sculptures?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
You saw all of them?
I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of stuff did they have?
There were, like, for instance, Dalton Hicks. His was pretty neat. And he actually didn't make this for the contest. He had actually made this for Mr. McClung. They are big followers of The Walking Dead, and it was, I believe it was axe hand or maybe saw hand, and it was a saw, but it was made from a plastic coffee can, and he had taken all kinds of different plastics and just made all kinds of intricate little things, and you actually could tell it looked like a chainsaw. So that was pretty neat. We also have had little, I know Nolan Lewis made it was kind of like a Christmas scene, and he always makes Christmas things. It's always kind of focused around Christmas, and Nolan has participated for several years, and he's always one of the top three because he does a tremendous job. But he'd taken Christmas cards and made little Christmas scene out of it, and it was really, really precious. We had one girl from the middle school that also made a fish aquarium, and it actually lit up at the top.
Oh, wow.
That was Isabella Pott. Hers was it was really good. And we had a motorcycle that was made from, and Timmy Martin is the one that made the motorcycle, and it was made from all different type pieces of metal, and it was just pretty amazing. I do have some pictures that I'll try to send you to put on the website.
I was just going to ask if we could get some pictures.
I will
somewhere.
do that.
How did they choose the winner? Like I don't know. A motorcycle seems like a bigger deal than a chainsaw.
Well,
but how did they?
Creativity is a portion of it. The amount of materials is one of the things that we've tried to encourage, or that's one of the things that is encouraged for them to use, and that's kind of like the tiebreaker a lot of times.
Like the variety of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The amount of materials, and like the little motorcycle, I bet it had like 75 little pieces on it. Okay. Then they have to be a certain size. They can't be any more than 24 inches in any direction, or heavier than 15 pounds, because we have to haul them back and forth for one thing. They also, and so filling out the requirements, they have to put their name and address and teacher and all that stuff. So creativity, materials, neatness, and measurements. So that's pretty much what they go by.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I was curious how, because they all sound like really neat. An aquarium that lights up, and a motorcycle or a chainsaw. How do you pick one?
And we had some actually I know we had several from the primary school and even from the elementary school that because they were so large, they were, amazing little projects because they were so large. It kind of knocked them out of being they couldn't be a regional winner, they couldn't be a county winner. They could go on to the best of show, and we had several that did go on to the county for best of show, but they were just because they didn't follow the guidelines. You just have to stay within those guidelines,
and they know the requirements going in.
They do.
They just chose to go ahead and
or they just overlooked it, and a lot of times that's just that. We do that all the time, so it is a lesson.
Got caught up in the project and kind of forgot about the rules, though. Yep.
But anyway, that's those checks should be getting to them hopefully fairly quickly. The treasurer is from Tree County, so it's kind of like a regional contest, and we depend on them to get things to us. But anyway, I know we just had a great turnout. But I will send you those pictures so you can get those online.
Please, thank you.
We also just recently had our District 7 teen Christmas party, and we have an area teen council. There's a Pennyrile in the Purchase, and District 7 is from Fulton County to Todd County. We had a district-wide Christmas party in McCracken County last Friday night. There was about 50 in attendance of all. We had 16 of us, and I had one volunteer along with myself that went. We went to McCracken County to the extension office. They got to play all kinds of Christmas games, and we ate and had pizza, and then everybody got to go skating. So it was a lot of fun. I think we all had a really good time, and it was just a good opportunity to meet some new people. And for some of my kids, it was the first time they had a chance to skate. And
now, skating as in roller skating?
Roller skating, yes. We went ice skating last year.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask where you went ice skating.
Yeah. Owensboro is the closest place. But roller skating, and it was a little safer.
Okay.
I did invite I did all my 8th grade kids from my middle school club, just because I want them to understand that there's a lot of things that they can do as teens, and it gave them a chance to get together with some of my teens and kind of see, whenever next year I want to continue to be in 4-H, because there's a lot of things that I can do. And again, it was a lot of their first time to skate, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, did you skate?
No, I did not.
You did not?
No,
okay.
I did not.
It's been a few years since I have.
to skate, and I would have loved to have, but I have no. I have too many other things to be responsible for. Can't afford to get hurt.
Oh, okay.
So, we also, it's time for the Country Hand Project. We're fixing to get started on it. The deadline was this past Monday to sign up. We have 21 that are registered, which is a really big number. We do this at Broadbent's B&B, which is at Katoa. Beth and Ronnie Drennan have done this for, gosh, I think we've been in it for about 10, going on 11 years since they've been at the facility at Katoa. And they do it for about 10 other counties. So we are very, very appreciative for that. But the Country Ham Project just gives kids an opportunity to cure 2 country hams, and then they from the raw ham to the finished product, they cure the hams. We go in and we salt them, and we'll do that after Christmas, probably about January, February. We'll start salting them. We salt them twice, rinse them, shape them, bag them, and then they smoke for several months. And
months? I didn't know.
Yes. Well, in West Kentucky, we have smoked ham. We smoke our hams. In the central and eastern part of the state, they don't. Actually, there's more non-smoked hams in the state than there are smoked. So it's more kind of like a regional thing. But if you ever go into Broadbent's, or if you've ever smelled a smoked country ham, it has that smoked, or even smoked sausage. It just has that smoked flavor, that smoked scent. And the non-smoked country hams look different. They don't smell. They're not anywhere near as attractive as ours.
So something I just learned about country ham, and I haven't really had any. I grew up in Illinois area, and I guess that's a little farther north.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I didn't grow up knowing anything about country ham. But something I just learned yesterday, another job I have, my boss was talking about how a friend of his had sent some smoked ham, some really good smoked country ham, to some friends of theirs in Minnesota, I believe he said. And he didn't hear anything from them, and so he called, when he talked to him, asked him about their country ham, how they liked that, and they said, well, when we got it, they were spoiled. We had to throw them out because apparently they had mold on them. But apparently they're supposed to have mold on them.
It's okay.
So they didn't know that up there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I said, country ham's not my thing, but so that's it. Y'all, when you do your hams, they have mold on them as well?
They do.
That's part of it.
A lot of times after they'll sit in the smokehouse, or if they'll, like, between the time that we pick them up until we take them to the state fair, they will have mold on them. You just wipe it off, and you cook it off.
That's what he said. Just wash it off.
You just wash it off, and
but I'm thinking, ew.
And you cook it so it's going to kill the mold and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, and I trim my fat before I cook it.
And that's what he said. Everybody just cuts
Yeah.
that part off anyway, so it's not even on the ham. Yeah. And so, but I'm thinking, if one slice of bread has like even a dot of mold, I throw the whole loaf away.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. That's a difference.
That's a different thing.
Yeah. But you don't eat it.
Okay.
So you don't eat unless you just really want to. But you just wipe it off.
I know, but my husband would say, "Well, you're not eating that slice. It didn't touch the mold. I don't care. It's all done.
Yeah,
it's gone."
Yeah. No, not me either. but to complete the project, they do have to give a speech at the state fair. And there's the junior topic and a senior topic. And this is typically the first day of the state fair. It went the country ham contest. And there's anywhere from 725 to 775 that participate in the country ham contest. It's one of the fastest growing projects in the state.
Now,
Kentucky.
Do you provide the places for them to smoke their hams, or do they have to come up with a
They go
space?
to, Broadbent's provides the place.
Okay.
I
guess I meant through the program.
There's a lot of counties, especially that do the non-smoked hams, that they have their own ham houses. For us, it's really not practical since we smoke. And our winters are so mild a lot of times that you never know what a winter's going to be like. If it's not cool enough, we could lose some hams and stuff. So it's just, that's a whole different ball game. So we're gracious, again, to the fact that Ronnie and Beth, they open, they bring on extra help. They stay extra hours. They're paying overtime for their employees just for the good of our kids, and they get nothing from it except for the fact that they're leading our project. So we're again grateful for them, and we've got 21 going in, and again it's a good number. We've got several returning. I've got several that have done it ever since they've been in the 4th grade, and I've got some new ones too. So anyway, looking forward to a good country ham project year. We've also got our sewing Unit 2 girls that are going to start up after Christmas. We had Unit one back in October, and that's for the first year, the beginning sowers. This is for anyone that has sown sowed in Unit 1 last year or anything above. So they'll be working on anything from zippered backpacks or quilted backpacks to garment bags to whatever their project entails. So we usually have several that sew, and we again, that's led by our very dedicated sewing volunteers. We have 2 master clothing volunteers, and that's Peggy Cox and Mary Lou Stevens. And then we have some others, Betty Ballard and Loretta Fitzgerald, that have given hours and hours and hours to our kids in our sewing project. So really pleased to have them back and the kids to get started up again. Also, believe it or not, it's December, and we're thinking about camp. We'll start our camp planning in January. We have our first camp planning meeting, and we camp June the 4th through the 7th, which is the same week that we camped last week. And we still camp with the same counties. That's Trigg, Lyon, Livingston, Union, and Hancock counties. We've camped together for the last several years, and we've got a great group, and really looking forward to it, and have some new changes this year that are going to be interesting to see how they kind of fold out. I think it's going to be all for the positive, and we're taking on a new Camp 2.0, which is kind of like piloting a program, and I know there's 3 other camps in the state that are kind of envious of what we're doing, so we're really hoping that it works out. And I'm
making everybody jealous. Where is the camp?
It's in Dawson Springs.
Okay,
just down the road, not very far at all. But and that's where kind of that's a plus for one, and it's not in some instances, but it's very close, and we've just made a lot of changes in camp over the last several years, and it is just nothing but gone up. And speaking of camp, if for those, and I know that there's probably a lot of college kids that are home now, they may be starting to think about summer jobs. Now is the time to start applying for camp staff. We will be hiring, I believe it's 21 camp staff this year, so there's going to be a lot more positions available. And again, that has to do with the new pilot program that we're doing. So if anybody is interested, I'm going to put it up on Facebook, the link up on Facebook. But if they want to, they just Google Kentucky 4-H Camp Staff Jobs, and they should be able to get to it also. But instead of giving the whole big link.
Okay.
But and that's about all I have for now. Again, after the first of the year, things will really get started and going.
All right. Well, that's a lot, actually, for, ending things. That's a lot of stuff going on there. And then the beginning of the year, you'll have even more stuff.
Yes.
Starting back up.
All over again.
So
one thing that I did want to point out, our livestock, we have a livestock judging team, and they usually start in March and go until the state contest, which is in June. And we've got several that show, and they go through and compete in county contest, and then they go to the state fair. With Lisa Trimble, who is one of our parents, is interested in doing a skill-a-thon, having a livestock skill-a-thon team. So I am going to be contacting our livestock kids to see if they would be interested. The state contest is February the 16th. It's something new for our kids, but it would be something, a lot of them, they know this stuff anyway. Just give them some extra practice and some extra opportunities to stay involved in livestock. So anyway, that they're going to be hearing from me fairly quickly.
Okay.
On that.
All right, Rhonda. Well, we have just taken up all of our time that
Sorry.
we can take. No, that's great. I'm glad that we have so much to do. To tell about. That's awesome. It's an awesome program. It sounds like you've got going on over there. And how long did you say you've been with? 17 years. It was 17th to 13th. I was going to say, what's today? But it's past the 13th. But 17 years. So you've had a long time to help this program grow, and it sounds like you've done an excellent job of getting growth. And we need to know what that secret is. We'll see if we can get that from you in a month or two about the summer camp, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, Rhonda. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I promise one of these days I will get all the faces and names straight. I promise.
That is perfectly fine.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Rhonda Jewell-Caldwell, County Extension Office 4-H. And we'll be back to talk to our Ogden Memorial guest, Shannon Blosser, to talk about that Christmas in the Barn coming up next week.